Hi, everyone. If you've been following our speaking videos or the podcast, welcome back. And if you're new here, great to have you. We're launching the very first video in a brand new IELTS writing series. Today's lesson is a map question about Redwick, where two possible supermarket sites, Site 1 and Site 2, are shown. I'll guide you through the map so you become familiar with all the information, and I'll show you how to write clear, accurate sentences to describe what you see. After that, we'll build the Task 1 answer paragraph by paragraph. Let's start by taking a careful look at the map on your screen. Before writing the full Task 1 answer, our goal here is to understand the layout of Redwick, the town itself, the surrounding areas, the transport links, and the two supermarket sites. As we do that, we'll write some clear descriptive sentences to express the information you see. This helps you become fully familiar with the map before we begin building the full response. As you look at the map, notice the large labeled area, Redwick. Just underneath the town's name, you can see the population, 72,000. Here's one clear way to express that. The map shows the town of Redwick, which has a population of 72,000, and here are two paraphrased versions. According to the map, the town of Redwick is home to approximately 72,000 residents. The map provides an overview of Redwick, a town inhabited by around 72,000 people. Now, let your eyes move to the brown area on the map. This is the section labeled Town Center. It sits within the built-up area, slightly south of the town's midpoint, and it is marked as a no-traffic zone. Here's a simple Task 1 sentence describing it. The town center is situated just south of the town's midpoint and is designated as a no-traffic area. And here are some natural paraphrases. The central district lies just south of the middle of the residential zone and is restricted to pedestrians. Redwick's town center is located inside the housing area, though not at the exact center of the town, and it operates as a traffic-free zone. Surrounding the brown town center is a large purple area. This is Redwick's main residential zone. A basic sentence for this is, a residential area surrounds the town center. Alternative versions might be, most of the housing in Redwick forms a ring around the central district. Most of the land around the town center is used for housing. The central commercial zone is encircled by a wide residential district. Housing occupies the majority of the area immediately around the town center. You'll notice the dark patches on the map. These represent the industrial areas. One block sits near the northern edge of the housing zone. The other lies to the south, below the housing ring, and above the southern countryside. So, Redwick contains two separate industrial zones. A clear sentence for this would be, there are two industrial areas in the town, one to the north of the housing and another to the south. Here are two variations. There are two separate industrial areas, one positioned on the northern side of the residential zone, and the other on its southern side. The town contains two industrial zones, situated respectively on the northern and southern edges of the built-up area. If you look at the dashed line on the map, you'll see the railway. It follows a curved route from the northwest, runs through the town center, and then heads toward the southeast. Here's a simple way to describe it. The railway line runs from the northwest to the southeast, passing directly through the town center. You could also say, the rail route curves from the northwest side of Redwick, passes through the town center, and continues to the southeast. A railway line traverses the area in a northwest to southeast direction, running through the town's central zone. Look for the thick, solid black lines. These are the main roads. There are 3 of them, and each leads to a different nearby town. One road stretches toward the northwest to Marlby, another extends southwest to Elcombe, and a third runs southeast to Porton. A natural sentence for this is, 3 main roads link Redwick with nearby towns in the northwest, southwest, and southeast. Here are some other versions. The town is served by 3 major roads, which run to Marlby in the northwest, Elcombe in the southwest, and Porton in the southeast. Redwick is connected to surrounding settlements by three principal roads extending in different directions. Now let's look beyond Redwick to its neighboring towns. If you move your eye to the northwest, you'll see Marlby. Looking down to the southwest, you'll find Elcombe, and to the southeast, there's Porton. Each town shows its distance from Redwick and its population, which helps us think about potential supermarket customers. Here's one clear sentence describing this. The nearby towns of Marlby, Elcombe, and Porton lie to the northwest, southwest, and southeast of Redwick, respectively. Some paraphrased options include: Marlby is located to the northwest of Redwick, Elcombe to the southwest, and Porton to the southeast. Redwick is linked with three nearby settlements: Marlby in the northwest, Elcombe in the southwest, and Porton in the southeast. Finally, let's examine the two proposed supermarket sites. If you look at the brown area marked as the town center, you'll see the label S1 inside it. This means that the first proposed supermarket site is located within the town center and lies inside the no-traffic zone. You could write, S1 is situated within the town center, inside the designated no-traffic zone, or the first proposed site, S1, lies in the town center, which is a no-traffic area. Shift your eyes to the left of the housing area to find S2. The label appears in the green countryside, showing that the second proposed site lies outside the built-up area, in the rural zone to the west of Redwick. You might say, S2 is located in the countryside to the west of the town, or the second proposed site, S2, lies outside Redwick's residential area in the surrounding countryside. That completes our walkthrough. You should now feel comfortable with the layout of Redwick, the supermarket sites, the transport links, and the nearby towns. With this understanding in place, we can move on to planning and writing the actual Task 1 answer. For this lesson, we will structure a high-scoring map response into 4 clear paragraphs. First, the introduction, where we simply rephrase the question. Second, the overview, where we state the main differences. Third, detail paragraph 1 focusing on site 1. And finally, detail paragraph 2 focusing on site 2. The overview is the most important paragraph. It highlights the most striking difference between the two sites, their location and access. S1 is a clearly central site, positioned inside the no-traffic town center. In contrast, S2 is a peripheral, rural location, situated outside the main housing zone. We can combine this into one strong overview sentence. Overall, the two proposed sites differ most significantly in their location and access. S1 is located within the town center, which is a traffic-free area adjacent to the main residential zone, while S2 is peripheral and situated in the countryside, close to a major road. For the 2 detail paragraphs, we assign a primary focus to each site. Paragraph 3 will focus on Site 1. We highlight its convenience for Redwick's 72,000 residents, its proximity to the housing and the railway, and its drawback, the lack of main road access for drivers. Paragraph 4 will focus on Site 2. We highlight its superior road access for car traffic from the 3 peripheral towns, with 63,000 residents. We will use contrasting language like in contrast to clearly state that S2 is far removed from Redwick's central residential area. Using comparison markers like whereas, in contrast, and while is important to fulfill the requirement to make comparisons. Our structure and planning are complete. Let's start writing the full high-scoring report, building it paragraph by paragraph. We begin with the introduction. We simply restate the prompt in our own words. The map illustrates the layout of Redwick, a town of 72,000 residents, and highlights 2 potential locations, S1 and S2, for a new supermarket. Let's look at the overview. This is the single vital sentence we finalized during our planning phase, capturing the core distinction in location and access. We simply place the completed sentence here. Overall, the two proposed sites differ most significantly in their location and access. S1 is located within the town center, which is a traffic-free area adjacent to the main residential zone, while S2 is peripheral and situated in the countryside, close to a major road. Moving into our first detail paragraph, we focus entirely on Site 1. We highlight its proximity to the local population, the railway link, and its main drawback. Site 1 is centrally located within the traffic-free town center, placing it immediately adjacent to the main housing district. This location offers the most direct access for Redwick's own population. Furthermore, S1 is positioned just south of the railway line, providing a transport link for customers arriving by rail from surrounding areas like Marlby and Porden. However, S1 is not situated on any main roads, meaning shoppers must walk through the built-up area to reach it. Finally, for the last paragraph, we pivot to Site 2 and use comparison language to contrast it with S1. In contrast, Site 2 is situated in the green countryside on the town's northwestern outskirts. Its key advantage is that it lies directly beside the main road, connecting Redwick to Marlby. This position offers superior access by car for traffic arriving from all three satellite towns, totaling 63,000 residents. However, S2 is far removed from the main housing zone of Redwick. And that brings us to the end of this lesson. We explored the layout of Redwick, compared the two supermarket sites, and built a complete high-scoring response step by step. If you found this helpful, feel free to re-watch any part of the video and review the example sentences at your own pace. You can also visit our website where you'll find the map and the full model answer laid out clearly. And if you're following this new writing series, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the upcoming writing lessons. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.